Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today it's the last day of the week. I'm going to do the next 6 stages of the Fanhome release and build the John Wick Mustang. So today we're going to be doing stages 75 to 80, and as you see I bought the full car up here. Don't know if I need the full car though, because I haven't actually looked at what we're doing. I have got a wheel or a tyre and a rim to do, so that's going to be 2 stages straight away. I don't think this is still available, but you can check that yourself by looking at the video description, or every link that I possibly do is in the QR code, including merch store, everything. Everything you need is in that QR code. Let's jump into it without further ado. Let's get cracking. Okay, stage 75. Here is the magazine, and we have got the trunk lid inner panel, and we're going to be attaching this to the trunk lid that we done with the spoiler. So I need to bring that up, and that's all we're doing. So this should be a quick stage, and this is the rest of the magazine. So what we're going to be doing is taking the inner panel here, and this is just going to be going on. What we see here is what we worked in on the last pack. This is actually just going to be fitting on just like that, and it's going to be held into place with H screws. We're going to need 5 of these. These are actually quite tiny screws. I'm just checking if my screwdriver will have them. They will. And I'll get all of 5 of these into place. I have just switched over from my electric screwdriver because these screws are tiny. They do need a PH00 bit, which I could put in there, but seeing as most of the other screws on this build are PH0 or PH1, it's quicker just to do this. As a matter of fact, all the screws just in this stage are really tiny screws. You'll see what I mean in a second. And that's because, as you can see here, I've got the latch, which is going to go onto the 2 holes just there like that. And these are held in with end screws, which are even smaller. So I'm going to have to hold this like a pen so I can get this in. And screw that into place. Excellent. And there you go. So with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now we do have these, they look like brackets for the hinges to go into, but we don't use them at this time, so we keep that safe. Stage 76. Here is the magazine. And wow, we've got some electrics, and it looks like we've got a front fender, front bumper. Okay, so we're going to be bringing over what we created of the front of the car here, and we're just going to add those electrics into that. And there's the rest of the magazine. So let's get this open. And this time we're bringing up this section that we worked on. I can't remember when we worked on this section, to be honest with you. Okay, so we're going to be putting this fender onto this grille, but you see there's got an indent in here. We want that indent to be facing down on this. So when that's like that, as you can see, it's facing down. I'm going to be attaching this with C screws. And there's 4 C screws here to put in. So now that's looking like that. Now, we do have a tester board here, so we can actually test these LEDs before we put them in. So let's do that, shall we? They go into this one on the right-hand side, but don't put them all in at the same time. But you see, that one's come on there. Don't be tempted to put one in the left-hand side there. I don't know if that's the right voltage. Put one in this side. And as you see, that works too. So, first one we want is D2. That's going to be going into the main headlights here. So the longer lead's going to go in this side, just like this. Get me tweezers out, and what you do is you push it in, not by the wire, but by the actual bulb. So that's going to fit in nice and secure there. And then the other side will go into the other main headlight one just over here. Now if I put them in that way round, I'm just going to take this one out and change it round. I will be able to bend this wire back should I need to later on, as you can see. Don't know what direction yet, but we'll leave that where it is at the moment. So they're in place. And then we've got to do the middle ones as well. This time it's the opposite way round. So we're going to have the shorter one here and the longer one on this side over here. So what that does mean is that, as you can see, we're going to have one plug this side and one plug this side. Interesting. Okay, put that to one side. We just got a couple bits here we're going to bring out. We've got basically the turn signal it looks like we're creating here. So what we've got here is these are the indicators and these are the reflectors we're going to be putting the lenses on. Now there is an indent on each side to dictate which way these lenses go. So I'm just going to plug these into here. Matter of fact, I'm going to put my magnifying glasses on for this because these are tiny. So one in there, and just push that in. So that's one done. Do the same on this one. Push that in, and there we go. That's the two indicators done as well. In stage 77, here is the instructions. We are going to start another wheel here. So we've got the rim. I'm putting that together, just like this. And we'll get this open. I am guessing we're probably going to need some boiling water for this one. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But as you can see, this is all the components here for the wheel. So what we're going to do first is just put these in place here. There is a locating lug for these, so they can only go in one way. So I'm putting this on the lug. The locating lugs go into these two parts here. So it looks like we've got some stud nuts there. This thing just goes onto the rim, dropping that into place. And it's held in with these C screws. So we're going to need 3 of these. Perfect. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 78. That's probably going to be the tyre, which it is. We need to put this into the tyre. Am I going to need to boil a kettle up? That's the question. We'll have a look in a second. So let's just get this open. Now, the rim is going to be going on this way. The tyre probably doesn't need to be soaked in water. That's gone in really well. Look at that. Wow. Just got to get the other side in, but I think we're going to be okay. Just like that. Wow, that is crazy. I didn't need water at all. That's got in absolutely perfectly. Nice. Okay, that's made this stage very quick. We're going to be just putting then this hub cap over the top. There is, again, locating lugs to help position this in just like that. There you go. That's another wheel completed. In stage 79, this has gone a lot quicker than I thought it was going to go, I have to say. We're going to start the door. Look at that, the left-hand door. Putting this together just like that, so this is going to be a quick stage. It does probably mean I'm going to put my mat up here. So let's get the door out. And rather than get a mat out for the door, we haven't seen this for a while. Look, it's by Rainforest Cafe Frog Cushion. This can go on here, just like that. Let's have it this way round. Because we're going to be putting a hinge in place. So the way this is going to go in this way round, this is going to go in here like that. And then this is going to be going over the top of this, like this, to keep that into place. And then we're going to hold that in with K screws. Do I need to tell you I'm putting this in oil? I think you know by now. These really do need to be in tight here, because if they're not, your door is going to wobble. So get those in really tight. Now this is going to seem really hard to open, but it won't be when it's actually on the car. But with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. So that means the last stage of this pack is stage 80. Here's the magazine. What are we doing? We've got the left-hand door. We're still working on the door here, putting the inner door trim in. So again, not a lot to do. This is a really quick stage. This is a really quick pack. So we'll get this open then. It is a tiny one, this last stage. Okay, put these to one side. First thing I'm going to need, bring my mat back over and the door, is to put this inner door card in, which is just going to be going into the inside there, held in with F screws. Now, going to need 4 of these. Then we're going to be putting the wing mirror in, which looks like this. This actually just goes down here, so it slots into this point here, probably best on the top camera. That's going to be held in with an F screw, just like the ones we just used. Now we need to put the glass into place. Now, my experience with this says put a touch of glue in here, even though we have got stickiness on the mirror that's going in here. I do find that these things always fall out on me and I end up gluing it anyway. So if I was to glue it now, then that's going to be fine. The only thing I'm not doing is taking the protective film off the mirrored side. So you see, I can take this off here. I'll drop this into place. So that looks like that, but I'm not going to peel off this protective film until the very end. I want to keep that in place, otherwise that's going to get scratched. We need to put the door handle in. So this is going in here, just like that. It's held in from the other side with a D screw. Just get that in there. And then finally we've got the barrel lock to go in, which is tilted because it's actually going to be sitting in a certain way. As a matter of fact, it does have a keyhole pattern, so it can only go in one way. That's clever. Look, the barrel lock, which is a key, has a keyhole pattern. So putting that into position there, pressing it all the way in. You don't need to glue that because that's not going to move anywhere, but that's in. That was quite fiddly, you know. The amount of times I dropped that was pretty crazy. But with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Me with my red line again from those magnifying glasses. That was it. There wasn't much to do at all, was there? Obviously, we've created the door looking like this. We put the headlights into the grille, which looks like this. And then finally, we put the inner trim on the boot or the trunk, and we made a wheel. So seems like there was a lot, but not much at all. In fact, it's 26 minutes of recording time. Pretty crazy, but that's a pretty quick way to end the week. Now, I think we're going to start the week next week with the SAS Jeep. I've got the next pack of that coming. I think we might be having the Orca next week as well, pack 8, so we'll have to see that is. But be sure to tune in next week. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. Once again, 50% of the people who watch this channel aren't subscribed. If you really want to support the channel, I really appreciate if you could press that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing. It just notifies you when the next video's up. But I really do hope you like that video. Take care.